Michael Glenn here in Japan. I'm enjoying my training so far. This year is an interesting year in the Bujinkan. Hatsumi Sensei mentioned the other night that there is a thing in Japanese culture called yaku doshi. The idea with this is that everyone has certain unlucky years in their life. And he said one of these unlucky years is the year 42. So when you become 42 years old, that year is a potentially unlucky year for you, and bad things can happen. So he said that this year the Bujinkan is 42 years old. He said that it's been 42 years since Takamatsu Sensei passed away. So it's not just the year 42, it's the years leading up to and coming out of the unlucky year that are problematic. And he cited a variety of things that have happened recently in the Bujinkan, such as losing Oguri Sensei, various people getting sick or injured. So he, wanted us to make note of this for this year. He explained to us that this year there's three themes we're working from: the Tsurugi, Mutodori, and Fujin or Josei no Go Shinjitsu, which is women's self-defense. Each of these three themes kind of play into each other this year and inform one another. Last time I was here in March, we covered both the Tsurugi, Mutodori, and Fujin no Go Shinjitsu. This year, this month that I've been here, it's been a little less with the Tsurugi and more Mutodori or Fujin no Go Shinjitsu. When it comes to the Tsurugi, he has brought up on many occasions the myth of Susanoo killing Yamato no Orochi, which is the eight-headed serpent. In the Hanbu Dojo, he put up a series of 4 statues with snakes, and each statue has 2 snake heads. Well, this this mythical beast that Susanoo killed, had 8 heads and 8 tails. And when he chopped off one of the tails, he pulled a tsurugi out of the tail, and that became one of the national treasures of Japan. So this is definitely part of the feeling or the basis for the ken or the tsurugi this year. When it comes to Mutodori, it's a little hard to comprehend what soke means by Mutodori. It's not just being unarmed against a sword. It's also the idea of making the sword inconsequential, making the sword empty or disappear. He wrote a scroll for me, which was quite wonderful, that says Muto Buto Nari, and there's various ways you could translate this scroll. One is that being able to fight without a weapon is an important part of being a warrior. Another feeling with this is that the absence of a sword is the essence of being a warrior. But it's also the idea of erasing the self and erasing your opponent's sword when you're fighting. So all of these ideas are crucial for Mutodori. And I think the way he put it in that scroll he wrote to me was quite interesting, and something that will give me something to think about in the months to come. Let's see, when we're talking about women's self-defense, one very important point that he brought up was that women are naturally weaker than men in a lot of cases. Men have more muscle, structurally are bigger than women, and so women, if they get in a fight with a man, they go into it knowing that they can lose. So he said just the very act of knowing you're going to lose will allow you to win. That's a very deep concept when you're fighting. it gives you a certain amount of power over your opponent if you go into the fight already knowing you're going to lose. Because your strategy is going to change to a strategy that cannot be predicted. It's going to change to a strategy that will be one that is meant to overcome something that is impossible to overcome. Then you're drawing on other forces in the world or in the kukan to save you in that situation. And the other person not having that same attitude or knowing that you know this will be at a disadvantage just for that simple strategy. I thought that was a very deep concept for women's self-defense. He said that it has taken him a long time to understand why Takamatsu Sensei taught him women's self-defense right at the end. He said he never really understood what that meant or what it was, and he only feels like in the last few years as he's gotten older that he has a feeling for what women's self-defense means. So this is the beginning of my experience here in training with Sensei. We haven't been doing a lot of tsurugi. There has been some. The classes have been small. Sensei has even done some bojutsu in class, which was wonderful. It's been incredibly hot here and humid, but I've been enjoying my training so far.